Eruvin Daf Kufay, the final Daf of Mesechtes Eruvin. Today's amazing email comes from Avram Farkovich. It's a very long one. My wife and I are dedicating this Sunday shir in honor of our 12-year-old son Asher Zelig, who's making his first siyum ever on Mesechtes Eruvin. He goes on to describe he was part of a shir, but then COVID hit. Before COVID, he was watching the 8-minute Daf as a quick review, and then he decided to watch a live shir on Zoom. Once the clock changed, I pushed myself to join the live stream on Zoom. That was definitely a life-altering event. Within 5 minutes, someone named Yeshua private messaged me and welcomed me and urged me to join the WhatsApp group to get the charts and any announcements. I think that happened the first 5 times. From there, things changed. I wasn't just part of a Daf share, I was part of a Daf Chabura Daf family. My excitement for learning not the Daf, but the Yoimi was born. I started talking about various things that happened in shir with my family at the table, whether a funny Reb Eli story or Reb Eli classic mostly gleaned from something on the Daf. I think that is why my son was excited to join me in learning the Daf. So I would like to thank you, Reb Eli, and the entire Chabur for creating this community. Reb Eli, we all know that you put in so much work to prepare the shir, the stories, the props, and especially the charts and pictures. However, one of my favorite things about the shir is how you help inculcate, that means instill. He explained to me what that means. By persistent instruction, Yedis Klolios into the shir, such as the order of the Trumas and Maisris, the levels of Tuma, and especially the relationships of the Tanoim and the Amoraim with each other, which helps us understand the nature of the Shakla Tire. So from the bottom of my heart, I say thank you on behalf of myself and my entire family for changing our lives for the better. Yishkoyach Reb Avram Meir Farkovich. We learned yesterday that Shmuel says an amazing chiddush. If one were to bring a sheretz itself into Beis Hamikdash, he's potter. But if somebody brings a kli, a vessel that touched the sheretz, he's chayiv. So the Gemara says perhaps that's exactly the machlokes in our Mishnah between Reb Shimon ben Nanas and Reb Akiva. The machlokes, what are you permitted to remove in terms of a sheretz on Shabbos from the Beis Hamikdash? Shimon ben Nanas says only from the heichal, the ulam, and the small area between the azara and the ulam. Reb Akiva says no, the entire azara is included in. You're allowed to remove that sheretz. Perhaps Reb Akiva holds that you are chayiv if you bring a sheretz into the azara. Therefore, remove it immediately on Shabbos, even from the entire azara. Shimon ben Nanas says you're not chayiv. Says Reb Yochanan, no. Perhaps, according to everybody, it's also to bring a sheretz into the Beis Hamikdash, not like Shmuel. What's machlokes? Had a darish in the pasuk about Achaz and his son Chizkiah. Achaz was a Rasha. He brought Avodah Zarah to Beis Hamikdash. When Chizkiah became the king, he had the Kohanim remove all the Avodah Zarah from the Heichal. But once they got out of the Heichal, they gave the Avodah Zarah over to the Levim to bring outside of the Beis Hamikdash to be destroyed. Perhaps they learned the pasuk that the fact that they didn't use Kohanim to take it all the way out of the Beis Hamikdash, you see that there's no need to use the Kohanim. You don't want to make them Tameh because it's only the Azara. And Rabbi Kiva holds no. The reason why they brought Levim is because wherever you could use Levim, use Levim. We would have liked to use Levim into the Heichal, but the Levim aren't allowed into the Heichal. So therefore, they switched it over to the Levim. This is machlokes. Let's say there's a repair necessary inside the Heichal. Or let's say you have to remove a sheretz. Can a Yisrael do so? Tanakama says yes. There's a bigger mitzvah to use a kayin, but if you don't, it's okay to use a Yisrael. What's better? A Yisrael who's tar or a kayin who's tameh? Of course, a Yisrael who's tar. Rav Huna says in the name of Rav Kahana, Kahana was a kayin, he was slightly biased towards the Kohanim. He says, no, you always use a kayin. The Torah says, Ach el ha-paroiches lo-yavai, a kayin who's tameh should not go to the paroiches, meaning ach is a miyut. It comes to exclude. When there's a need to fix or something else, then even a kohen who's tameh should come in and do the necessary repairs and remove the sheretz, and not a Yisrael who's tar. Ach and rak are always a miyut. Es and gam are always a ribut. So there's a mitzvah to use a kohen who doesn't have a blemish, who doesn't have a mum, and he's tar. And if not, you use a kohen who has a mum, who has a blemish, and who's tameh. Now, what if you have a kohen who has a mum, and the second kohen is tameh? Which one should you use? The tameh or the mum? Rav says tameh is better. Why? Because you see that sometimes we are relaxed when it comes to tumah. If most of the kohanim, the rov of the kohanim are tameh, they can perform the avodah with the tumah. And Rav says no. Mum is more relaxed because a kohen who has a mum, he could eat kachim, whereas a kohen that's tameh can never eat kachim. In the Mishnah, there's a very interesting line. It says, Reb Shimon says, Makom she'tiru l'cha chachamim, a place where chachamim gave you a heter, mishalcha nasu l'cha. What does it have to do with our Mishnah? Says the Gemara, it has nothing to do with our sugya. It has to do with daf nun beis amud beis. Over there, there's a Mishnah that discusses what if a person gets stuck Friday in the dark, it becomes Shabbos, and he's not at the city yet. And if he were to walk 2,000 amas, he wouldn't make it to the city. He gets there, he's off by 2 amas. What does he do? Tanakam says he can't go in. He went 2,000 amas. Reb Shimon says those who measure the tchum took off 15 amma, just in case he has a situation like this, and therefore this individual could go in. And that's the pshat. They gave you from yours. There's another interesting line that Reb Shimon says, they allowed it only because of the Issa D'Rabbanan. What is he talking about? He's going back a few daf. The Tanakama says that if the cord of the violin breaks, you could tie it. Comes Reb Shimon and says, no, you don't tie it. You just make a boat that you shouldn't come to Isser Chatas. And that's when Chachamim were matter with a bow. And with that, Rabbi Isai, we finish Mesechtes Eruvin. Hadrun Allah Chamoitzi Tfilin Uslikala Meseches Eruvin. Mazel Tov, Be'ezer Hashem. I'll see you tomorrow. Psachim Daf Beis. Please bring your friends. Try out the full shir. Mazel Tov.